golden and bruised, and still beautiful.
Hey friends, so today's story, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's one of the stories that changed me the most. This is the story of Samson, the one I didn't fight to keep, not because I didn't love him, but because deep down I already knew. I didn't meet Samson in some romantic whirlwind. There were no sparks, no butterflies. In fact, I was working. I had just started my food business, and that Saturday I was out looking for customers. I saw a football match, just a bunch of young guys playing. And something about it felt like an opportunity, so I stayed, cheered them on, laughed, handed out samples, gave one of the players my number, not because I was interested in anything romantic, just trying to build something. But a few days later, I got a message. Not from the guy I gave my number to, but from his friend, Samson. He was the kind of guy you don't forget. Charming, warm, effortless, and there was chemistry right away. We started talking, and something clicked. He told me things most people would have hidden, that he was struggling, living with someone who treated him badly, barely making it through each month, and somehow, being with me gave him the courage to change things. Within 3 months, he had a new apartment, a car, and for the first time in a long time, peace. And I was proud. Not because I fixed him, but because he chose better for himself. But, slowly, I noticed something. He was content, and not the kind of content that feels calm and rooted. The kind that feels like settling. Like staying still when everything in you is meant to grow. I tried to start the conversation. I asked about dreams, his future, if he'd ever want to move abroad, build something new, stretch a little, and he'd smile, shrug, say something like, "I'm just happy to have peace." And I get that. Peace is sacred. But peace without progress, without purpose, eventually starts to feel like standing in place. Still, I stayed, because there was love, or something like it. Then came the day everything changed. We were walking together when I spotted someone I hadn't seen in years. A childhood friend. I screamed his name, ran to him, hugged him like no time had passed. And when I turned back to Samson, he was gone. I found him down the street, angry, quiet. He asked me who that guy was, why I was so comfortable with him. I explained, told him the truth, that this friend was like family to me, and Samson said he understood. But from that day on, he didn't. He started to pull away. Every time that friend's name came up, even if it was just a notification, he'd shut down. And eventually, he broke up with me, said I was too ambitious, that I wanted too much, that he couldn't keep up. And I didn't beg him to stay, because by then I was already shrinking, hiding my hopes, toning myself down so he wouldn't feel left behind. And that's not love. That's self-abandonment. Sometimes I think of him not with regret, but with clarity. I think of how easy it is to mistake peace for partnership, how someone can feel safe, but not right. Samson was never cruel. He wasn't a villain. But he wasn't my future either. Because I'm not just looking for someone to sit still with. I'm looking for someone to build with, to grow with, to stretch with. And I know now that love without shared vision, Without mutual movement, we'll always start to feel like a cage. So if you're in something that's calm but stagnant, if you find yourself dreaming alone, this is your reminder. You don't have to shrink to keep the peace. You deserve someone who sees your growth as a gift, not a threat. Thank you for listening to Golden and Bruised. If this story resonates, share it, leave a review, or send your own story. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, stay golden, even when it hurts.